here's what I'm going to be using today. I've got a piece of the Foil Frenzy DSP. Now we're calling it paper, but it's actually a light craft card, and I've got the full width of the 12 by 12 piece, and I've cut it down to 9 inches. And I've also kept the piece that I've cut off. I'm going to be making use of that. To stamp, I'm going to be using the Label Me Pretty stamps and Bermuda Bay ink. I have the Starburst punch and the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. And to decorate, I've got a little piece of the Pool Party shimmer ribbon. So I've got my card with the long edge at the top of my scoreboard, and I'm going to score it at 3, 6 and 9 inches. Now if this were 12.5 inch long paper, I would also be scoring at 12, but it isn't. It's 12 by, it started off as 12 by 12. So, now on my little cut off piece, I'm going to score on one end at 1/2 inch, at 1 inch, 1.5 inch and 2 inches. And I'm going to come along with my paper snips, and I'm going to cut right at that one fold. Not very straight, but that doesn't matter for this particular piece. And again at that fold. And these are going to be my little joining pieces. So I'm going to fold one that way round and one that way round. So now with the short edge at the top of the board, I'm going to score at 1 inch, 2.5 inches, 4 inches and 7 inches. Okay. And now I'm going to go and do a bit of burnishing before I come back and put a few more folds in. Gone ahead and started burnishing my my creases, but now I'm going to put some marks in that will help me to cut my diagonals. So I've folded my card at not that first fold, but on the second fold. Okay, and I'm going to mark midway between each of these fold lines. So on this one, I'm going to make a little mark at 1.5 inches. Okay, and on this one it's at 4.5, 7.5 and 10.5. So you can see them better. I've gone over each of those little check marks that I made in pencil, and I could have used my ruler and just marked them in pencil to begin with if I'd wanted to. And now I'm just drawing a line to join that mark with the fold, or in this case the outside edge. Okay, so that I've got, you see, I've got that sort of pattern running along. The next thing I'm going to do is to do some cutting. So I'm going to, actually you know what, I'm going to do this with a knife. So now that everything's marked, I'm going to do some 3, 2, 1. Now that everything's marked, I'm going to do some cutting, and today I'm going to use a craft knife. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now that everything's marked, I'm going to do some cutting, and I'm going to use a craft knife today because I want nice crisp lines on my top edge here. So I'm just going to cut. And my paper is still folded. I'm just going to cut that flap there. And I'm going to go through several times to make sure that I've gone all the way through. And then I'm going to cut along this edge here. So I'm cutting out this triangle. And I need to do one more on here, I think. Okay. And you're better off making lots of light cuts rather than trying to cut through it all in one go. So I'm just going to repeat that all the way along. That's the shape that I end up with. Just going to burnish all my folds one more time to make sure that this box goes together really well. So along the bottom here, where my flaps are, I'm going to burnish, and then at the top of my box here, okay, now these folds come the other way. Alright. And that top fold comes down that way. Okay, and now what's important is that I burnish these folds with my lid piece in place. Alright. And that is what will make a nice crisp fold, nice professional looking fold on the edge of my box. Alright, I'm going to bring in my my other two pieces. As you can see, I've trimmed this one down so that it's the size of what's going to be my lid, and this one is going to hold my base together. So I'm just going to take off my tear and tape backing. I'm just going to flip the fold just for a second so I can bring this right inside. Okay, and this one, this piece, which is going to hold all of the base together, I'm pushing that edge up right alongside so that it's butted right up against the corner of my piece, and then this one's going to come over the top like that. Okay, I've gone ahead and I've put my tape on to this piece because this is going to be the back, this is going to be the front. So tuck those two pieces in and take away the backing from my tear and tape. And as you can see, it's not the whole base, it's enough just to hold it in place. Okay, so now for the final piece, I'm going to put my joiner into my other piece, but I'm just going just a little tiny bit just beyond it. Can you see? It's just a little bit outside that fold. And now I'm going to close my box. Close all of that up. So my lid is fitting nice and snug. And now I can take the backing of my tape, tuck that underneath, and my box lid will fit. And now I should open and close and open and close. And you need to work that a few times just to kind of train your box to where you want it to be. My stamp's already mounted up on my clear block. I've got Bermuda Bay ink, and I've got the piece of Foil Frenzy that I cut off the 12 by 12 sheet, and I'm just inking up my stamp. To stamp that and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give that lots of time for the ink to transfer, and that's come out quite nicely. So I'm going to punch that out with my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. So I'm just going to line that up the way I want it. And now I'm going to take the starburst punch, and I'm just going to punch out that piece. And I'm going to join the two together. Which way do I want my chevrons going? Like that, I think. And some dimensionals will do it, I think. Got tweezers here. Can't put my hand on my piercing tool just for the moment. Come on, off you come. There you go. You see, some people are great with tweezers. I am not. I have to use my sausage fingers. There we go. And should we have a bow? In a minute. This ribbon's absolutely beautiful. It's not like kind of in your face sparkly. It's quite subtle, but it's definitely shimmery. Okay, and it's quite firm and takes a bow really well. It's not as slippery as you think it might be. Okay, so let's trim off those ends carefully, because once again I have forgotten to get my ribbon scissors out. And let's pop that. It's a little long, I think. And that's not the straightest as it could be. There we go. And I just pop that there with a dreaded glue dot. Get out of the way, bit of dimensional. There we go. Okay, we bring back my box and decide whereabouts I want this, and around about. Just trying to find where the front of my box is, which is here. And I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals, but I'm going to keep them in the bottom half of my piece, so that my lid, I hope, will pop up and down behind it. There is method to my madness. Okay. Just centre that where I want it. Okay, and there we are. Box opens, box closes. Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I've been making today. Now, it looks like an ordinary box. It's 3 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches, but actually it's got a little bit of a secret. It's called an impossible box, and the reason why is because when I do this, this happens. And if I close it, that happens. And open and close. Okay. Now I was inspired to find out how to make this by a teammate who said she'd seen something like it and wanted to know how to go about making one. So I did a bit of investigation, and I came up with a tutorial by the Paper Pixie. And if you want to see how she made hers, then that's what you need to look for: the Paper Pixie and Impossible Box. Okay, this is my version. Stay with me. I'll show you how I made it. So there is my finished Impossible Box, and do you know what? I could play with this for ages. It's just so much fun. Just open, close, open, close. So that is it for today. Do hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. If so, then click that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel. Why not? Be a devil. But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.